Yo guys, RCS1100 back at it again, and we have failed here. We were just in the middle of a recording, and of course people call. Don't you guys hate that? Let's just really quickly turn on our Do Not Disturb. Basically, I'm going to be showing you guys off today, right now, on this spinny screen, uh, what I've been doing recently. This is my deck for farming in Duel Links. This is the first time I've been showing Duel Links on the channel, and I think it is going to be one of the things that I do most likely. A new AMV is coming out. The last two got copyrighted so hard they didn't even make it to screen. But, yeah. This is my fusion deck for farming. I am not gonna lie and tell you it's the best deck ever. I'm not gonna lie and tell you it's perfect. And I am not gonna lie and tell you that you need the perfect cards, because you do not. You absolutely do not. And what is wrong with you, computer? Why would you tribute whatever we win? Just whatever. The computer does weird things sometimes. Let me just really quickly show you guys the deck. This is the fusion deck that I've been working on for the past couple of weeks. Triple Thunder Dragon, triple Death Kangaroo, triple substitutes. These are all basically the same thing. They just have different names, which you can get multiples, but I don't know if you can. Double Red Eyes Black Dragon for the Meteor Black Dragon, as well as the Black Skull Dragon, which is a substitute for Meteor Black Dragon, whatever. We've got Big Koala, one of that, because we already have triple Death Koala up here. We also have 5 different versions of, or 5 different ways to fuse. We have our Fusion Sage, which is a really good card. You activate it, you add a poly to your hand, you thin the deck. You really do. You thin the deck a little, and you're happy. That's the best way to put it. As you can see, there's not too many ultra rares in here until you go down here, in which case, yeah, you've got our Meteor Black Dragon, our Master of Oz. Master of Oz came out in one of the newer sets. He is the strongest fusion monster, I believe. We've got Triple Jar of Greed for consistency. I'm gonna be noting some problems with those later on. We've got Triple Poly, of course, because not everybody has Triple Fusion Gate. Although I feel like running Triple Fusion Gate might be better or worse. You have one Fusion Sage. That's the one reason that Poly is better than Fusion Gate. You can search it with Fusion Sage. We don't have Terraforming here yet. If we did, I would say run triple Terraforming, triple Fusion Gate, but we don't. So I would say run triple Poly and double Fusion Sage. Probably drop a Jar of Greed. Jar of Greeds are just there for now. These are the Red Eyes Black Dragons. These are basically used for your Meteor Skull, your fusions. It's a fusion deck. Of course, drawing Thunder Dragon is amazing. Some things I gotta note with this deck. There are some optimal people, I would say, for using it. And, this is... I've realized that the computer does not take advantage of mind scan. If you don't know what it does, I can look at every card they set on the field. As long as my life points are basically full. I don't know exactly what the condition is. I forget. Whatever. But the nice thing is that it's simple, but it's got quirks. And you might be able to see those quirks soon. One of the quirks is not taking advantage of mind scan. You can see that the monster's set with 2k attack, but for some reason the computer doesn't see it. The computer and you are 2 different people. The computer doesn't see what you see always. It's weird. Either that or it's not programmed to, act on what it sees through mind scan. Life point boost is really good, because it can't screw it up. Yeah, that's about it. Bad draw. Drew triple poly. See if we lose. No, we didn't. We drew a substitute. A little bit lucky there. Not too lucky though. We do run triple of the substitute. And there's our Desquala. We will also run triple of that. Okay. Now we got our Thunder Dragons. We're going to go into our twin-headed Thunder Dragon, which is one of our fusions. We have 2 of those in the extra deck currently, for the simple fact that sometimes you draw a Thunder Dragon, 2 fusion substitutes, or 3 fusion substitutes, and a fusion gate. In such case, you can actually make 2 Thunder Dragons in turn 1, which is really nice. You could, not the computer can. The computer doesn't make it turn 1. Turn 1, as in literal turn 1 on the top right of the screen up here where you see the dazzling stuff. If it says turn 1 and you're going first, the computer refuses the fusion. It will rather set one of your fusion materials, let it get destroyed, and then lose than actually fuse on first turn. So that is something you guys got to be aware of. Another thing to be aware of is Jar of Greed. When you draw multiples of it, the computer only sets 1. And as you can see, it just this is also one of the reasons I think that the Death Kangaroo is really wonderful in this deck. Not in this case. We got kind of out damage there, but it helps you OTK them. In cases where they don't do what they just did, which is Jurassic World plus a 300 boost, which is actually a lot. I just turned it off, whatever. I turned off auto, by the way. But in cases where that doesn't happen, you set Kangaroo, you pass, or the AI sets Kangaroo, they pass, the enemy summons maybe a 1600, they attack into it, they take some damage, and they get destroyed. Next turn, you hit Poly, and you go and you OTK them, because they have no monsters on field turn 2. Or turn 3, rather, you set Kangaroo. The computer likes to set on first turn. That's one of the things I've noticed, and one of the things I've been trying to play around with this deck. Another thing is that the computer is weird sometimes, and it's fickle, and the game isn't really... It's like the real Yu-Gi-Oh game, except for you have 3 card slots, which is extremely... it's much slower. I'm trying to speed up the deck as much as I can. Looks like we ran out of duels there. We were full a few minutes ago. We can run through them pretty quickly, to be honest with you. In maybe like 15, 18 minutes, we can finish all of our duels. Yeah, around there. And that was with some interruptions. So that's pretty good. Skills I would recommend using. One of them is actually one of the Tea skills, which I will be showing you probably next. It is probably my favorite skill to run, and there you go. As you guys can see, we pulled 2 Jar of Greeds, and the computer only wanted to set 1. Another thing you guys might have noticed is that it set Kangaroo when we, I think, did we have a substitute? No, we didn't. We had Thunder Dragons, though, but it didn't want us to go into Thunder Dragon twin-headed. Alright, so let's see what they do. Drop all of their cards. Okay, cool. We're going to set, hit a Jar of Greed, set, hit a Jar of Greed, cool. Attack into that, whatever. We just tributed for a Red Eyes Black Dragon. I do not know how to feel about that, but this duel is going on pretty long. We might deck out if this goes on any longer. There's a lot of crazy shit going on here. I'm pretty sure we're gonna lose. He has 7 counters on that. 7 times 3. That's 21. That was interesting. But that was definitely interesting. As you guys can see, though, we were holding up for okay. But so far, out of everybody I've used, which has been Joey, I used Milo, definitely used Teo with this. I used Yami Bakura. I used Bandit Keith, which weird enough works. It's not really that weird when you think about it, because everybody loves his switcheroo skill. I don't know if it got nerfed yet. Still don't have Odeon. Funny. But Taya has one of my favorite skills, which is called Dual Standby. And as you can see, when I was using the deck with Taya, I had 2 big koalas and 1 desk kangaroo. Also, I had a meteor dragon in here. What this meant was that I was hitting meteor black dragon around as often as I was hitting Master of Oz, which is okay, but the way the deck was, and behold, this is only a temporary deck because I didn't have all the cards, I had a chance of bricking really hard. I would draw 2 red eyes, 2 big koalas, and a meteor or a thunder, and that would be that. I would have to then hope not to get a Jar of Greed, because Jar of Greed's kind of, they take away some of that potential. Drawing them first turn is wonderful, but drawing them after that's a bit annoying. I've also had problems where, for some reason, I have 6 cards left in the deck, 7 or 8 sometimes, and I have Fusion Gate, Fusion Sage, and Triple Poly in like 7 or 8 cards in the deck left. Never could draw it sometimes. That's just Yu-Gi-Oh! Doing its thing. But the skill and the reason I came to Taya really, was to show you this skill that she has called Dual Standby. I do not know if every character can get this. I do not honestly remember how I got it. But it increases your starting hand by 1. What this does is it makes it less likely for you to brick and more likely for you to draw poly. Downside, your opponent also gets +1. Sorry about that. Good part about it, though, is that the chances are you're going to be trying to basically OTK the hell out of them. So, really quickly, I am just going to, yeah, I haven't really, it wouldn't hurt. I'll just copy this really quickly to show you guys what I mean. I'll copy it in here. We'll save that. We'll set it as active. We'll go to edit. And we'll back out. Also, I have used this deck in PvP a few times. A challenge popped up where 5 duels in PvP, and they gave me 100 gems for that. So guys, be on the lookout for that. It was in the weekly. I don't know if the weeklies are the same for everybody. I never checked. But if they are, you might want to grab that before it's gone. I don't know how much longer it's going to be here. I'll check after this. But this is basically what it's like. Dual Standby is something it can't mess up. The computer messes up Mind Scan, as in, if you activate Mind Scan and you see a 2K monster in defense, for some reason, the computer says, hey, I know I see it, but I'm going to attack into it with a 1500. There's 2 possible reasons for this, I believe. One of them is the fact that A, it doesn't see what you see, it doesn't have the ability to see through Mind Scan, and that the only reason it's able to use abilities is when they're being forcibly used, such as Dual Standby at the beginning of the duel, or a life point increase, or anything of that sort. And the other reasoning is that it just doesn't factor it into the equation into what it should do. Either way, all that matters is it cannot see it. Mind Scan is useless. I've learned that the hard way. Also, did I just get 250? Be mad happy? No, I didn't. I'm level 34. I am derping out. I'm sitting here like, oh, I hit level 34, but I was really looking at Pegasus early. I'm like, oh. Anyway, let me once again show you guys the deck and tell you guys the things that I think you should change about it if you guys get a chance. Any words to improve the deck would be definitely much appreciated. And I've been basically using this deck to level up all my characters for gems to get more cards to level this deck up. it turns out that this game is very heavily like, there's a ton of cards, there's so much you can do, but it is pay to win. Well, not, you can win without paying, but the paying gets you a really good advantage. Let me be honest here. I believe. Now, once again, triple Thunder Dragon. I think that's pretty easy to get. Those all come from the trader. Triple Death Kangaroo, much less likely for you to have. Having even one of them, as long as you have the fusion, and maybe having 2 or 3 of the big koalas is a possibility. But having triple of these is so much better for turn 1 for the computer because it can set pass, and if they attack into it, if they have less than 1700, they get destroyed due to its effect. And if you have a fusion substitute or a big koala in your hand, and maybe a poly or a fusion gate or a fusion sage, you can then proceed to OTK them one shot with the big kahuna down here. We have the triple substitutes to hit the big kahuna and also to hit Meteor Black Dragon when we can. You can also use it to bring out double twin-headed Thunder Dragon. I'm going over everything again. We also run 5 copies of 5 cards to fuse. I honestly want to bump it up to 6. I want 2 Fusion Sages. I only have 1 Fusion Gate. Go figs. Only got 1. It's an ultra rare though, so having 1 is great. Fusion Sage, again, ultra rare. New pack, it's going to be here for a while. You guys can get it. You guys have time. If you guys are willing to put all of your resources into making this deck. Poly, triple, get from the card trader. Pretty good. Triple Jar of Greed. I also think those came from the card trader, and it's pretty good. It's a pretty okay effect. I'm not gonna lie and tell you that everybody's running it. I'm not gonna lie and tell you it's great. I'm not gonna lie and tell you it doesn't have its problems, because it does when you draw a triple Jar of Greed, turn 1, and the computer only sets 1, because then you lose. Sometimes, but it's good. You run double Red Eyes Black Dragon in case you have the Meteor Black Dragon. Now, in the cases where you started the game and let's say you do not have anything from uh, the set with this is the cover art, or the Meteor Black Dragon with like the fusion gates and all that. What that basically means is you won't have this. You won't have a fusion gate. And you also won't be running Red Eyes Black Dragon. But you can see here that honestly a lot of these cards aren't that hard to get. 6 from card trade. No, 9 from the card trader. 3 Thunder Dragons, 3 Polys, and 3 Jar of Greeds. All card trader. Half your deck. Done. These are a bit harder. 2 twin-headed Thunder Dragons. Once again, card trader. You wouldn't be running this unless you have it. Don't know how you get it. Whatever. You'd be running ideally 3 of these. I've also been thinking about bumping this up to 3. And instead of running double poly and 1 fusion sage, or 2 fusion sage, like I was saying that I want to do, I would probably bump that up to triple fusion sage, triple poly, just to add a little bit more of a kick to the deck. Also, another thing you might want to do is you might want to run triple big koala, triple death koala, kangaroo, my bad. That would let you hit, it would basically let you fusion more, but it would lead to more dead hands sometimes, depending on who you're using. Like I said before, Tay is probably best. And since we're coming around 20 minutes in this video, I'm going to end it. I'm going to keep it short, tell you there's an AMV coming. And I'm also going to say that Geminis are not that bad. You can run them in here. I honestly wouldn't say that it is bad to run Geminis. What I would say, though, is if you do have cards such as Mirror Wall, such as Rising Energy not so much, Mirror Wall much more, but there is a Gemini card which allows you to you drop it, and if you attack something higher with it while it has its effect, which all Geminis have to be normal summoned twice to get their effect. There's cards to get around that, but that's for another time, that's for another video, but that plus Mirror Wall is really nice. There's a card that, like I said before, like a second ago, I think I just did, I might have forgotten, well, mid-conversation thought, but basically what it does is it lets you say, hey, I've got let me Let me just type it in real quickly. Also, because I was unable to find a tab for Gemini, I just type in normal summon it text, and then basically all your Geminis pop up. Go 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 golem, very good. Blazewing butterfly, a pretty good one too. Skelosaurus, honestly, I want to run 3. I just love the card. I adore it for the simple fact that it's a fact. It has 1700 attack, not low, and when you normal summon it, if it destroys something, you special summon it. If you activate Mirror Wall and kill a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you get the Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's funny as hell. Rising Energy and other cards work on that, but like I said before, that's another day for another video, probably next week, so you guys can look forward to that. Anyway, I know it's been a while since I put out a video, and I figured since most of my channel is iPhone games, let's be honest, we got Brave Frontier, we got that Monster Warlord from the past, which I honestly have stopped playing. Well, this is basically it. I mean, this is the game I've been playing, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, you can do whatever you want. Obviously, you can add whatever other fusions you want into the deck, though. Everything from this point on is just a little bit extra. You guys can leave. Bye-bye. But, just gonna really quickly take a look over here. Neo Impact is where I got the Meteor Dragon from, and I reset the box because I basically already got everything from it. The only things I would probably want are maybe another Mirror Wall, like I said, for the above reason. But let's assume you guys are new players. This pack right here, Chaotic Compliance, is really good. I don't really believe in this card at all. Don't really believe in it at all. Good. And, good. The Geminis can also factor into your fusion deck. The reason I would run a triple of the Skelosaurus, triple of the Skelosaurus and triple Go 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 Golems with maybe some double summons if you have those. If not, you can also try some of the other cards. Herculean Power is also a very interesting card. I could never get it to work right, but maybe you guys can. This is just food for thought with the fusion deck in case you guys are missing anything. And if you guys don't have any of these cards, I mean, maybe you can put down what you have in the description below, and maybe somebody can help you. Maybe I can. Not too sure. I've been pretty busy these days, but like I said, expect a video coming soon, maybe next week, and I'll see you guys later. Have a nice day. Try not to die, and remember, it's bad for your health.